In the Qur'an, God calls our attention to a very important attribute of the sky. We made the sky a preserved and protected roof, yet still they turn away from our signs. The protective nature of the sky revealed in the Qur'an was only discovered in our own time. The atmosphere surrounding the earth protects us from lethal dangers. While destroying many meteors, big and small, as they approach the earth, it prevents them from falling to earth and harming life. It filters the light rays coming from space that are harmful to living things. It also protects the Earth from the freezing cold of the space, which is approximately -270 degrees Celsius. In addition to the atmosphere, there is another layer caused by the magnetic field of the Earth, which serves as a shield against the harmful radiation that threatens our planet. The Van Allen Belts. Thanks to the Van Allen Belts, the massive outbursts of energy called solar flares that frequently occur in the Sun do not destroy life on Earth. In short, a perfect system is at work high above the Earth. It surrounds our world and protects it against external threats. Strikingly, this was revealed 1400 years ago in the Qur'an. Another verse imparting the same information reads, "It is He who made the earth a couch for you, and the sky a dome." Here the sky is described as al-sama bina in Arabic. As well as the meaning of dome or ceiling, this word has another meaning. It also describes a kind of tent-like covering used by the Arab Bedouin. By describing the sky as a tent-like structure, the Qur'an is emphasizing that it is a form of protection against external elements. This is the protection the atmosphere affords against meteors and cosmic rays. All these facts show that this information obtained by humanity as the result of lengthy scientific research was imparted 1400 years ago in the Qur'an, when there were no spacecrafts or giant telescopes.
While referring to the sun and the moon in the Qur'an, it is emphasized that each moves in a certain orbit. It is He who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon. They swim along, each in an orbit. It is mentioned in another verse too that the sun is not static, but moves in a certain orbit. And the sun runs to its resting place. That is the decree of the Almighty, the All-Knowing. These facts communicated in the Qur'an have been discovered by astronomical observations in our age. According to the calculations of experts on astronomy, the sun is traveling at the enormous speed of 720,000 kilometers an hour in the direction of the star Vega in a particular orbit called the solar apex. This means that the sun travels roughly 17,280,000 kilometers a day. Along with the Sun, all planets and satellites within the gravitational system of the Sun also travel the same distance. In addition, all the stars in the universe are in a similar planned motion. That the entire universe is full of paths and orbits, such as this one, is inscribed in the Qur'an as follows: by the sky, full of paths and orbits.
There are more than 100 billion galaxies in the visible universe, and each small galaxy contains approximately 1 billion stars.
Furthermore, each big galaxy contains more than 1 trillion. Most of these stars have planets, and most of those planets have satellites. All of these heavenly bodies move in very precise computed orbits. For millions of years, each has been swimming along in its own orbit in perfect harmony and order with all the others. Moreover, many comets also move along in the orbits determined for them. The orbits in the universe do not only belong to celestial bodies. The galaxies also travel at enormous speeds in computed, planned orbits. During these movements, none of these celestial bodies cut across another's path or collide with another. Indeed, it has been observed that some galaxies pass through each other, with none of their components touching each other. Surely at the time the Qur'an was revealed, humankind did not possess today's telescopes or advanced observation technologies to observe space in a range of millions of kilometers, nor the modern knowledge of physics or astronomy. Therefore, at that time, it was not possible to determine scientifically that space is full of paths and orbits, as stated in the verse. However, this was openly declared to us in the Qur'an that was revealed at that time because the Qur'an is the Word of God.
The Earth consists of 7 strata. The first layer is the hydrosphere, which embodies all the waters on the Earth's surface. The second layer, the lithosphere, is a hard stratum forming the Earth's top layer. Its average thickness is 80 kilometers. It is colder and harder than the other strata, and therefore forms the Earth's shell. The third layer is the asthenosphere. It is formed of hot, semi-solid, meltable substances. The fourth and fifth layers, the upper mantle and the lower mantle respectively, form a high-temperature region, some 2,900 kilometers thick, made up of semi-solid rocks. The Earth's core consists of 2 parts. One is the 2,200 kilometer thick liquid outer core, the other a 1,250 kilometer thick solid inner core, the 6th and the 7th layers respectively. The fact that the Earth is made up of such strata was only known as the result of lengthy research using 20th century technology. Yet God imparted this information to us in the Qur'an, which He imbued with many scientific miracles 14 centuries ago. It is God who created the 7 heavens, and of the earth the same number, the command descending down through all of them, so that you might know that God has power over all things, and that God encompasses all things in His knowledge.